A finely dressed man greets you with an incredibly radiant smile. His meticulously polished jaw augmentation reflects the place's interior as sharply as a mirror. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Lusarius Carmelan, a collector of curiosities. Perhaps your lordship will find something useful among my offerings. Oh, I bet I will. Curiosities do you sell? Lusarius points to his eagle still smiling. Equipment for noble cyber assistance, of course. The demand is modest. Few in the Imperium can afford such luxury, but I am glad to have found my calling. Judging by his expensive attire and ostentatious augmentics, Lusarius' wealth is unlikely to stem directly from his curiosity business. He came here following his heart, it seems, and not his greed. I want to see the curiosities you have. Oh, great, great, great. And I have this one. Buy all available. Why not? Okay. Oh my god. This is gonna be a short one. Maybe an hour. Okay. Let's find some more loot. %. Try it. Okay, curiosity merchants and her. Your lordship, Clementia bows her head politely. For a chancellor to a rogue trader, she is dressed rather simply. A parade, the bleu, polished boots, and a comfortable cloak. She bears a saber in a gilded scabbard. Whether for show or protection, one could not say. Only her ring with the Versarian coat of arms indicates that she is of the highest social stratum. The governor is waiting on the periphery of the palace. Please let me know when you would like to see him. The sharp gaze, the impeccably straight back, the composure. For a moment you feel like you're looking at a younger version of Abelard himself. She looks older than him on this photo. Not his heir. Judging by the scars on the exposed parts of her body, Clementia saw her fair share of combat prior to assuming position of Chancellor. But responsibilities, to put it simply, I'm your trade representative. And in all decrees, deals, official communication and meetings are first reviewed by me and then forwarded to you and from you down to the hierarchy. My purview also includes overseeing your lordship's property, the palace, the estate, the many gardens and other demesnes of Dargonus that you have inherited from Lady Theodora. And whenever you are present on Dargonus, consider me your personal secretary. What can you tell me about the... Okay, I have Scalander. Does he cause any problems? Why? None at all. Your lordship, Secretary Scalander is an outstanding individual and a loyal servant of the von Valencius dynasty. In Lady Theodora's absence, we collaborated on a number of issues related to the well-being of your domain, and he has proven himself quite capable. And I don't know why, but even the governor trembles before Achilles. Which is unusual for a man of his, shall we say, standing. The last word brings a silent smile to her lips. Can you tell me about the Dragonus? All deals and important decisions are made here in the capital. Many years ago, a Chancellor of Lady Theodora signed an agreement with the Adeptus Administratum, which allowed for efficient management of the world and the neighboring systems. In accordance with the decree, a share of the planet's population was assigned to the Administratum and converted into servitor scribes. They now toil across the entire world. Shit. Darganus is also the seat of several noble families who run all the major planets in the Protectorate. If I may express my not so humble opinion, they care every little about who exactly stands at the helm. Those piranhas think about their own profits just as much as they do about the prosperity of the Protectorate itself, if not more. And lastly, Darganus has its own fleet, a luxury unavailable to the vast majority of the worlds in your realm. In addition to warships, the Protectorate also employs privateer ships, which are used to transport cargo between worlds. Oh no. Well, this is not a good day for this. Does the capital stay in contact with the other worlds in the Protectorate? Unfortunately, not at this time, your lordship. After the few representatives of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica on Darganus went into frenzy, some of the Psychers were tragically pacified by the representative authorities. Since then, communication with the neighboring system has been unreliable at best. Thanks be to the Master of Mankind that you managed to find your way to the capital. Sorry, I have to check my kit. Be right back. Okay. Situation under control. The noble houses are so volatile. What sense is there in keeping them? Over the many centuries, an intricate hierarchy has formed within the ruling elite of Dargonus. The great houses do more than plunder your treasury. It is replenished to a large degree thanks to their administrative work and their lands. Naturally, you can get rid of anyone whom you consider surplus to requirements. Like all of them. You can get rid of anyone whom you consider surplus to requirements, but right now it could threaten the fragile stability that is currently holding the Protectorate together. Are there any other issues that I should be aware of? Apart from the disrupted communications, Dargonus was recently raided by enemies of humanity. However, the fleet under the command of Captain Martius Verserian triumphed over the accused Xenos. If you ask for my opinion on this matter, we have the situation completely under control. You catch her avoiding your gaze for just a moment. For the first time, it's obvious that Clementia is looking out for her house's good name. But despite the confidence in her tone, you can tell that she does not entirely believe her own words. Tell me about the Drivestone. Urban Drivestone is a well-respected man, and not just on Dargonus but throughout the Protectorate. For many centuries his house has supported the capital's administration and the logistics between the von Valencia's systems. The Drivestone's efforts secured years of order and prosperity for Dargonus. What's more, Lady Theodora personally insisted that the Lord Arband specifically be made the next governor. The way you speak of Dravestam, I hear a hint of either a contempt or resentment. No, I don't believe I feel either, your lordship. Clementia's steely eyes stare into the distance, her jaw clenching visibly. She speaks in a polite but clipped manner, clearly flustered by your insight. We have different views on how to run the world. We sometimes have discussions over the laws that are enacted. But we both work for the good of the von Valencia's Protectorate. That much can be said without a doubt. Thank you for your report, Chancellor. I serve the von Valencia's Protectorate, your lordship. Tell them that I'm ready to see Governor. I shall arrange for him to be escorted to your study. And the dialogue. Oscar von Valencius, 20th in his line, rogue trader, keeper of the sacred warrant, and ruler of the Coronus Expanse from the Granak system to the 100 Dreams crossroads. I bid you welcome. Why he has no... he has a wig. Urban Driveston, governor of this great world. First and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. It will be difficult to recover from the loss of a woman as great as Theodora von Valencius. It pains me to think that she is no longer with us. The citizens of Dargonus and of the entire Protectorate grieve alongside you. Please allow us to declare half a year of mourning so that we can honor the memory of our beloved lady. Także jest załadówka. To cicho. Zajmie się. The governor glances at Kibble anxiously, then immediately averts his gaze. Then he looks at her again, but when Kibble lets out a grim chuckle and stretches her lips, Duped in fresh blood into a petrifying grin, the governor turns away from her sharply, all but squealing in fear. Deserves more than that. You will declare a full year of mourning. There is no need. I am the new ruler. It's all the same to me. Do as you fit. I will immediately give all necessary instructions, your lordship. He casually presses a few buttons on the cogitator built into his gold bracer. Esteemed Oscar, Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on our wisdom and perseverance in spite of this tragedy, together, and let us carry on where she no longer can buy, leading the von Valencia's protectorate to even greater prosperity. Driveston gives you a look of admiration. It seems that he is quite aware of your fame, and this opportunity to curry favor with such an eminent figure is one he does not wish to miss. Alas, it won't be an easy task to accomplish. Some time ago, the astropaths of Dargonus flew into a rage, and they had to be subdued. We are gradually restoring our ability to speak with neighboring worlds, but the contacts are still weak, and the routes are tangled and no longer lead to the systems that the captains expect them to. Given that the vast majority of ships in the Dargonus Navy travel without relying on the service of navigators, without your engagement, the well-being of the von Valencia's dynasty and billions of its subjects is presently at risk. So maybe this is the same reason those planets were abandoned by winter scales. We met a ship from Dargonus not too long ago. The crew was transporting a strange artifact and went mad during the flight. This is a truly regrettable bit of news. What's more, leaving Dargonus has been forbidden for several cycles now. It seems the Versarian family has once again failed in their primary responsibilities. He shoots Abelard a consenting look. We will investigate this at once, as well as the fact that the ship has to acquire a permit with the Administratum seal. Does your nephew still serve at the Administratum Palace? The governor presses a number of buttons on the cogitator built into his bracer and looks up to you in surprise. I don't understand. The ship did indeed depart from orbit, but it did so, if you can believe it, on the rogue trader's authorization. That is why no one dared to impede its departure. Lord Captain, it would seem the Conrad somehow got his hands on a copy of your authorization, or perhaps even the original. A tool like that in the hands of a traitor does not bode well. He's a heretic and traitor. Has he shown his face on Dargonus? The governor pensively strokes the rings glittering on his fingers. Lord Wh40k visited the capital some time ago, but he did not request a personal meeting. A heretic, you say? Now I see where all the whispering in the corridors has come from. I shall be frank with you, your lordship. Lady Theodora's sudden death was a blow to every one of us. Yeah, of course. And the absence of any sort of verifiable and complete information about her successor gives grounds for all manner of rumors and misinterpretations, especially if someone is deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, none would dare challenge you by accusing you of something as sacrilegious as murdering a rogue trader. However, Conrad Wh40k was once a true boon to the Protectorate back in the day, and as such, some might heed his words. Publicly rip out the vocal cords and tongues of every slender and replace them with vox implants that sing the praises of rogue trader Oscar von Valencius without interruption. I should... You see, those doubts are understandable. Too many things have changed in too short a span. I will prove myself worthy of position. Kill them. Kill them. Reasoning. That's it. Kill them for the Emperor, kill them for chaos. Be a logical guy. Why, Oscar, you desire it most commendable, but please do not forget, a ruler should never bow to their attendants, or some might see it as a show of weakness. This stuff is dumb too. If not them, I wouldn't have anything. Expect from me in light of those laws of routes and communication with the other worlds. We are all troubled by the fate of the agri-world Janus that supplied Dargonus and other planets with foodstuffs. Empty stomachs can drive even the mildest rabble to revolt. Furthermore, House Gaprak is perturbed by the loss of communication with the industrial world Kiava Gamma, which is in their charge. But if you wish to know my opinion, the world that deserves your attention the most is the penal world Vabus 6, one of the key mining suppliers in your protectorate. Drivestem's beady eye widen in fear. Your lordship, I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decisions in any way. Oh. You see, without Web 6 and the manufactorums on your worlds will need to make haste to find new suppliers elsewhere and arrange for new shipments. And in these troubling times, they run the risk of delays and other most tragic mishaps. My only concern is for the prosperity of the von Valancius dynasty. Wh40k found herself facing a number of problems in my absence. Truly, the Wh40k line is one of the oldest in the von Valancius protectorate. If the inheritor of such well-respected blood could not handle whatever had befallen her, then the situation must have been extraordinary indeed. Succumbs to worshipping the ruinous powers and was executed. She's dead. I have delivered Janus into more capable hands. Eyes open wide. The Wh40k line is broken. Such horrible news. Oh, it will shake many who were connected to the Wh40ks and who are used to the immunity that comes with our class. That does it for the planets and the trade routes. What else? Xenos, your lordship, I do not rightly know where to begin. He rubs the bridge of his nose warily. Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Coronos Expanse. They have been a menace to the worlds this side of the Maw for decades. But now those abominations are on the rampage. They show no sign of fear as they attack ships, either damaging them to the point where they become unfit to transport duty or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. We are in the process of restoring the astropathic choir of Dargonus. Luckily, we were forced to slay only one of the degenerate psychers, although those that remain are as yet unable to transmit messages. I hope Master Scalander will keep his word and offer you his support in the war against the Xenos. According to his reports, the region of the Weber 6 has been of particular concern in the last few cycles, which is all the more reason to discover the colony's fate as soon as possible. Now to issues on a smaller scale. There is a certain degree of tension in the capital due to the unorthodox succession of the Sacred Warrant. Chances of uprising are minimal, of course, and the spreading of rumors is nothing but a sign of weakness of mind and spirit. Nonetheless, I have prepared a list of minor houses that have demonstrated unseemly discomposure at your succession. What is to be done about them? Command the spinners of the blood-spawn web, and they will set a fine snare of retribution, Domin Oscar. We will whisper names, and that whisper will drown out insolent voices. Send the disgruntled nobles lavish gifts on my behalf, and make sure that my generosity does not go unnoticed by the rest. Make arrangement for public purges. All who have sullied the rogue trader's name must meet their death. I care not what those hyenas are yapping about behind my back. Leave them be. They are no threat to me. The most prominent malcontents quietly, but do not threaten entire families. Hopefully, these steps will be enough to keep the rest from causing any more trouble. Once your lordship's wrath descends upon the guilty, have no doubt there won't be a soul on Dargonus willing to share their fate. I hope so. And one last thing, your lordship, your inauguration as a bearer of the Sacred Warrant is but a matter of time, and I would like to inquire about one crucial detail. I imagine you are intending to uphold the centuries-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship of being represented on Dargonus by one of the noble houses. I presume that as before this duty will be accorded to House Drivestem. Which house can represent me at the ceremony? Any of other noble houses located in Dargonus, the Drivestem family which I lead, the Gaprak family with long ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Sauerbachs, known for the piety and diligence in service. Perhaps I should also mention the Versarians, who have some influence, but who are not actually of noble origin. Any one of these houses would be honored to represent you at the ceremony. Your presumption is wrong. I will bestow this honor upon the Versarians. Abelard turns to you and bows respectfully. Your Lord Captain, to accompany you at such critical hours is the greatest honor for the Versarian bloodline. Have no fear, we will not fail you. Drivestem tosses Abelard a look that lacks even the smallest shred of respect. Forgive my boldness, but I must remind you that the Versarians, whose lineage traces back to a navy officer, are not of the Dargonus nobility. Such decisions may have adverse effects on your subjects' loyalty, your lordship. No. Drivestem's face breaks into a bitter smile. I shall immediately relay your commands, most gracious rogue trader. Thank you for your time. Complete my inauguration as rogue trader as soon as possible. What is the ceremony? Tell me about yourself and House Drivestem. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. My house is the oldest and most respected on Dargonus. My ancestors walked side by side with yours for many generations as they cared for this world's welfare. Our duty is to supervise the governing bodies with the system subservient to you, and we are responsible for the protectorate's logistics and economic stability. As for me personally, I am a humble servant of the Emperor and a loyal subject of the rogue trader, and to my great pleasure I had the honor of calling myself Lady Theodora's close friend. At Arbent's last words, Abelard lets out a sound that could be interpreted as either a snort or a cough. Arbent gives him a look, which Abelard meets with an expression of utter nonchalance. That will be all. I take it. Thank you for your time, your lordship. Since duty calls, I shall take my leave. May the Emperor Grace be with you. And with you. Okay. Maybe I had a short break with my kid, but I had to. And I will probably give up for today. My eyes are just shutting down, as you can see. Okay, thank you everyone for being here. I wish you the best and the great results in whatever you are doing, wherever you are. Thank you once more, and see you again tomorrow. Bye.